It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
No fear, no fear, no fear, no fear. Here and declare your independence with me, Ernest Hancock, each and every day here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM. Now, today we're going to be talking with my special guest, William Benman. Now, he is the author of the book, The Great Satan versus the Mad Mullahs. Now, we want to talk about this because how bad does it have to get? I mean, we got Iran, Korea, China, and remember the evil axis, the original is Iraq, Iran, and North Korea. And Korea, they were like, you want nukes? Yeah, we got them right. You want Polaroids? They're right here. Oh, we got missiles too. So this is, they had them up on the shelf, and, things are going to start getting really bad in this country economically. So what are they going to do? They're going to say, we got some distractions for you. Well, it's a rhetoric on all sides, just building up, and then all of a sudden you got World War III and got some real problems. Did you really want to play that game? Well, we have William Benman is with us, and he's from we got you up here as professor and chair of anthropology at University of Minnesota. Now, we have culture and international affairs from the Institute for Public Accuracy. Now, we want to talk about the Institute for Public Accuracy for just a moment so that we get an idea of what that is. The Institute for Public Accuracy seeks to broaden public discourse. With systematic outreach to media professionals, the Institute provides news releases that offer well-documented analyses of current events and underlying issues. Well, that kind of pretty much sums up what we want to talk about. William, can you please go ahead and tell us why you wrote the article or the book? And we got it up on the screen here. Let me go ahead and put that up for everybody. You have The Great Satan versus the Mad Mullahs. Why did you name it that?
Well, the reason is because the United States and Iran have been estranged from each other for 40 years, really, since the Iranian Revolution, and they have not had any diplomatic contact with each other at all. This means that the communication between Iran and the United States has almost been exclusively through the media, and both sides have an important benefit that they get from demonizing the other side. So the United States regularly demonizes Iran, and Iran regularly demonizes the United States. And this is an internal political benefit for the leaders of these countries. In the United States, no American politician has ever lost a vote by attacking Iran. And the same thing is true in Iran. Iranian politicians regularly attack the United States. That's how they show up their popularity. So you get domestic popularity by attacking the other side, and a lot of the attacks that take place between the United States and Iran are completely based on false information, on misinformation that is being fed to the publics of those individual countries. In fact, Iran and the United States have never really harmed each other in any really important way at all, except for the sanctions that have been leveled by the United States against Iran in recent years. So it is puzzling why both sides seem to be so incredibly hostile toward each other.
Well, the one thing that I really wanted to get to is we saw during the Twitter revolution, or whatever you want to call it, when the people were actually communicating directly with their peers around the world, and you kind of got the idea that the people, certainly the next generation, wasn't necessarily part of this propaganda, this rhetoric. They wanted to have their own voice. And, of course, just like we have here, we got Homeland Defense, from out of the blue, claiming whatever jurisdiction, shutting down dozens of websites and so on. And that's just the beginning. Of course, they go after the weak link, someone that's doing peer-to-peer sharing of, I don't know, whatever files, movies and such. But once they start down this road, well, heck, they might as well be Iran. So I'm interested in what your view is of the people, the grassroots, the people that are in Iran, what their view of America is. Do they see their own government or even our government as a problem, but the people are able to communicate directly? What's your sense on that?
Well, I was just in Iran in August. I go rather frequently to Iran. The paradox is that the Iranian public is one of the most positively disposed to the United States in the entire Middle East. The United States is very popular with the public in Iran. And the Americans who do go to Iran as tourists or as visitors regularly come back, and they will tell you that they've been so well treated, that the Iranians are kind, they're hospitable, they're welcoming. In fact, many Americans say that they've almost been killed with kindness when they go to Iran. And it's unfortunate that it's really not the same here in the United States. But I will tell you that people who have actually been to Iran have a very, very positive view of the culture and of the society. So there is a discourse where the Iranian people will say, well, most of our trouble doesn't have to do with our people-to-people contacts. We like American culture, we like American society. The problem has to do with our leaders who are at war with each other.
When they had the hostage taking in the late 70s, I mean, I'm graduating high school in 79, so I remember here comes selective service. You got to sign up. We got to go fight somebody in Iran. Then we had the Soviet Union going to Afghanistan, and it was just, all of the rhetoric that was going on then is exactly what my children in their early 20s now are experiencing now, or certainly even when they were in high school. So it's like you have this revolving door of propaganda that just keeps coming around. But the people that were part of the Iranian Revolution back then, are kind of the people that are, supposedly empowered now. I'm wondering, what is it that's influencing popular culture and society there now? I mean, these are people, I would imagine, that were born after the Iranian Revolution. But the revolution was what? I mean, we need to go back in time to understand what happened, because what we have is it was really the Ayatollahs that kind of took over. So we have the Ayatollahs in, but it was a westernized culture. They're Persian, or not really Arabic. We had Western culture kind of permeated there because of the Shah that was backed by the United States. Then he goes away, and we have religious leaders. But it seems like Iran has maintained a more sophisticated, not only culture, but technologically advanced. I mean, these are, 70, 80 million people that are semi-educated. So I'm wondering, what we're really dealing with. Are we seeing a revolution or a revolution in Iran, and we're just waiting another 10, 15 years before this next wave gets in charge? And it seems like the United States government certainly wants to keep them, the evil, pointy-eared whatever, and I'm not sure what is the basis of that. Is it what you say is it's just to get elected?
Well, in part, I mean, a lot of the American politicians can't really seem to give up the Cold War, and Iran serves as a substitute for the Soviet Union in the Cold War mentality. It serves as a surrogate for the entire Islamic world, and in fact, the joke is, of course, that that militant that people who are involved with the thing we identify as militant Islam, like Al Qaeda, are absolutely opposed to Iran, and Iran is opposed to them. Iranians are Shia Muslims, and these the most militant groups of Muslims are Sunni. Iran has never attacked the United States at all, ever.
This is a very interesting conversation. We got a lot more to go in the next segment with my special guest, William Benman from the Institute for Public
actually.
Beeman. Thank you for that. I apologize. Okay. We'll be right back here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, in just a little bit. You stay right there.